Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Ellingham, joined by Michael Cambo. Cambo.
We're in our third year, Nelson. We're feeling good.
Yep.
We're professional by this point.
Yeah, that's right. We're in our fourth year.
Yeah, 3 years down, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years done.
Done.
Easy. Fourth
Dusted.
year is when they say that you get really slick and really professional.
Oh.
So I just like the listeners to know
I'm looking forward to that.
there are exceptions to rules.
Yeah.
And maybe that's all.
Damn.
No, yeah,
I was hoping it just happened.
Oh, right. Well, Nelson, I think if our podcast does anything, we like to think at least under promise, over deliver.
Yeah.
We probably under promise and then just deliver.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know, though.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have to break the trend of being a good podcast.
Here's the problem, though. 4 years professional, 4.5 years, it's all downhill from there.
Oh,
So you got about 6 more months of top tier, straight down.
Okay. Look forward to that.
I look forward to people being able to be like, they used to be good.
We'll see one of those Reddit posts.
Yeah.
What's a podcast that you used to listen to, but they're shit now?
Because occasionally we get a little bit of activity in the Reddit podcast subreddit.
Yeah.
I love the idea that someone posts, do you guys feel like this declined lately? It's I used to really listen, but now I bank a couple up every week, and I don't listen to it for a few weeks, and then I'll get through a few, and I'll dip in and out, and I don't know, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same since they replaced Cambo.
Yeah, that's a coming. Anyway, let's get into Reddit on Reddit.
Sure.
Because honestly, I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
I'm right there with you.
This episode could be under an hour. It won't.
We've claimed it many times.
Okay. This Reddit on Reddit is by AJ the Music Geek.
Oh.
This was in the subreddit Made Me Smile. But I think the smile should be more of a smirk.
Okay.
A sly smirk.
Ooh.
Maybe that doesn't make sense.
It's
you know what? I'm just going to read this to you.
It's also a long name.
Yeah.
/ made me smirk in a sly way.
Smirk sort of in a sly way. You know what I mean? When you do this small thing? Yeah. Anyway, Burger, there was an ad that went with this, a photo of an ad.
Okay.
It said, Burger King stopped selling their number one item for a day to encourage people to go to McDonald's so they can raise more for children with cancer.
Huh.
And this burger ad, it's got like the Burger King hand holding Ronald McDonald's hand.
Right.
And it says, a day without Whopper. Today we won't be serving Whopper to support our competitors' cause.
Oh, that's nice.
Made you smile, maybe.
Smirk in a wry way.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was pretty nice. And it is sort of one of those things that you don't expect from companies to do to be,
Do you think it's the kind of thing where they're claiming an easy victory because they weren't going to sell that many Whoppers compared to McDonald's anyway? So now they're like, oh, well, today we didn't even want to beat them, so it's good that we didn't.
This is exactly why I think it's a weird sly smirk thing going on.
Yeah.
I think they've looked... Because I'm assuming this is for Big Mac Day, right? Which I'm assuming is...
Ronald McDonald House Charity.
It's not the same as the Big Mac Day thing.
Well, don't they have Ronald McDonald House Charity? I mean, I think it maybe changes from country to country even.
I thought the Big Mac Day funded the Royal...
Oh, it maybe does.
Ronald McDonald Charity. I don't know. I don't even know if that... I'm assuming that's an international thing, Big Mac Day, where it's like, it's like a percentage of Big Mac sales goes towards their charity, I'm pretty sure. But I'm so certain that somebody at Burger King has looked at the numbers every year and been like, that day, our sales just drastically decline.
Yeah.
Because of course they would. If you're like a if you're going to get fast food on that day, and you know that that's the day that McDonald's is donating charity, you would feel almost wrong going to Burger King and being like, "Oh, suck it to those cancer kids.
Right.
love me a Whopper."
There's two things I think. One, I do think it is a nice thing to actually tip the hat and be like, "This other company, it's doing a good thing. We want to support it."
Yeah.
But what I like about it is that it is a bit of a power move.
It's a huge power move.
Because you're essentially saying, were it reversed, we would have outsold you. But you know what? You can have it this day at McDonald's. And I mean, I don't want to editorialize because I don't have the figures right in front of me.
Yeah.
But McDonald's is a bigger company.
yeah.
It would be like our favorite brand, LA Ice.
Yeah.
Our preferred brand of cola.
Yeah.
Saying, Coca-Cola has something on. They're like, you know what? Coke, you can have this one.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I like it because it's the equivalent to, this is one I like, is when a friend, this might be a slight Australianism, but when a friend of yours tells some kind of story that he's quite proud of, and you're like, yeah, all right, champ. Like, it just immediately undercuts them to make you look like you're more important.
Yeah, okay.
And I feel like this is the equivalent to that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, all right, go on, Macca's, you can have this one.
Yeah. That's a good point. And I think it's even
by the
more
way,
of a power move than that.
By the way, I've seen this on Reddit before being confused. We do call McDonald's Macca's here.
Oh, yeah, Macca's. Yeah.
Like, that's not even just slang. Some of the McDonald's just say Macca's.
They say Macca's now, yeah. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah. Also, Burger King here is called Hungry Jack's.
Yeah.
It's some kind of weird legal thing.
Because Burger King in Australia happened before Burger King in America.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that's true. I think just by the time Burger King got to Australia.
There was some kind of legal dispute. Anyway.
Yeah. But I think it's a bigger power move than just saying, we would have outsold you or whatever. I think this campaign wouldn't have got up in the Burger King office unless somebody was able to prove, hey, if we turn our image around from being, instead of just losing sales on that day, we sort of purposely pretend like we're doing it, as a service almost.
Yeah.
And then that will make people think of us in a better light. And then probably the next few days, we might have more customers because they'll say to themselves, remember when we were going to go to Burger King and then they didn't have the Whopper because the McDonald's thing and, and we wanted to support the McDonald's charity.
Sure.
Let's go to Burger King this time.
So you think it actually gives them goodwill?
I reckon it gives them sales.
Yeah.
I reckon in all previous years they haven't done this. They've just lost the sales.
Yeah.
But this year they'll have increased sales because people are like, hey, Burger King are the good guys as well. Instead of McDonald's this time, let's go to them.
Well, here's what I want to know is, and again, a slight Australianism, but because I don't know whether this is the same overseas.
Yep.
But now that Hungry Jack's equivalency here, Burger King overseas have said, hey, go to McDonald's that day. I do want McDonald's now to put out a press release saying, well, the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because that is famously the tagline, at least here.
You got to pay him back the compliment.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? They let us do that. We've got to give them something else. And then you're like, oh, Macca's is the good guy. And then you get those burgers. Just this weird compliment war where they're trying to out-compliment each other.
And the one that never wins here is a restaurant called Red Rooster. Which is a chain of restaurants here.
Yeah.
That no one is ever in, but they're always around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like KFC if KFC was shit.
I mean, KFC is shit, but it's a shitter KFC.
Don't you say that about the Colonel, buddy?
No, he was a racist. What are you doing?
He's
he's not a good guy.
Well, he makes the chicken, Cambo. It tastes good.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't clear up racism, I don't know what does.
Well, but now it's turned on his head because now it's like very popular in a lot of like urban and black neighborhoods. Fried chicken.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
This is exactly what I didn't want to happen. Was he really that racist? I had no idea that he was like that racist.
I don't know, other than like some of his affiliations were,
the KKK.
Well, he's a Southern gentleman.
Yeah.
Civil War leaning south north.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was a little more Confederate.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're trying to sell chicken, Cambo, sometimes you gotta you know.
Be racist.
Sometimes you just have to pretend to support a cause
honestly,
to get more chicken sold.
I mean, but the thing is, I can't speak on this with any kind
I'm not
of
trying
confidence
to
because it's just something I've always heard, but have never actually checked. So, Amanda, you do let us know whether or not he's a racist.
Yeah. But here's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
Can be. Is obviously Burger King have thought if we compliment our competitor, then we will eventually be in good light.
Compliment their enemy, yeah.
So I think maybe we should do that. Or really, we want to say that we'll bow out of an event to allow a competitor in the space to do so for their charity.
In a way, we've done this just this year, in fact. Where we didn't put ourselves forward for an Australian Podcast Award.
Yeah.
And whoever won, Tony Martin, or whoever it was.
Yeah, Tony Martin.
You're welcome.
You were.
Can you tweet at Tony Martin from our account, just letting him know that he's welcome?
Yeah. You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah.
We really.
You're welcome for the win. We decided not to nominate.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do this every year. It's like we've won every year.
Now what we need to do. Oscars are coming up in like February. Wait for whatever the best picture is. Tweet it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We're going to make it feel
we thought about making one. It's going to be great. But then we heard about yours that was coming out.
Yeah.
We thought, hey, you're a pretty good guy.
Yeah, let him have it.
Well, this was the Colonel. Then we're just supporting a racist campaign.
Well, I do want to see it because there was the movie The Founder, all about Ray Kroc, who not founded McDonald's, but kind of took it over and ran them out of business.
Yeah.
Interesting if they ever make a Colonel version of that. Because then I'll just get all my facts from there.
Yeah,
No need to research.
That's good. Yeah. I like it when I can get my facts from
a movie
of moving pictures of any sort. Really,
because then you just like, this is all true. Yeah, you wouldn't lie to me. You wouldn't editorialize for the sake of narrative.
Yeah,
nah.
Because I think if somebody goes to the effort of making a movie. Like, that's a lot of effort. You can write something down on the internet, Wikipedia, Reddit. It takes no time at all.
Yeah.
Stupid, useless fact. If you're making a movie, Cambo.
It's like, so John Lee Hancock, the man that made The Founder.
Yeah.
Must have been like, geez, Ray Kroc is a bit of shit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
How he did that. And he's telling people, and they're like, yeah, he wasn't. He's, no, I'm going to make a movie. That's it. And more people need to know.
Yeah, that's right. I want a Dr. Zeus one.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's an arsehole.
Yeah, he was an arsehole.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into that a different time. Who else can we pull down from people's childhood icons?
I mean, we could do a Keanu Reeves one, but we just make him out to be a real arsehole.
Yeah, we'll just lie.
Yeah, lie.
No, we can't because we this is a fact that I'm not sure whether it's going to be interesting because people can't see it. But now in our little podcast room, signed Keanu Reeves poster.
We do have a signed
I feel like
Keanu
we
Reeves
need
poster.
to always be on side of Keanu now.
Yeah, that's right.
Because this, I feel, is his endorsement of this podcast. Tweet it, Keanu, and thank him.
Keanu Reeves endorsed. All right, Cameron, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Error. And they say, Jesus Christ is running for president in 2020. What are some of the highlights of his campaign?
Ooh. See, this would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because that would mean he's running against Trump. And Trump has a lot of evangelical Christians on his side.
Yeah.
And it would be the real test. Who do they really support?
I still sort of think Trump might win.
Because it'd be like, he used to be good. He's no good anymore.
Yeah.
Where's he been all this time?
I think he'd just lie.
Yeah,
Like, oh, it's not the real Jesus Christ. Jesus is like, no, it's like seriously me. And then everybody's like, yeah, that Trump guy, I trust him.
Yeah.
He would never say.
Look, if Trump could pull that off, convince Christians not to vote for Jesus, and convince people he's not Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, all right, give him 4 more years. Then.
Yeah. He's got my vote.
He does have the silver tongue, apparently.
Yeah, that's right. He might be able to, garner world peace.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Like, what would his policies be? And we're obviously very well read in the Bible. We know it all. We know it all. But I dare say that political stances from 25 AD
Yep.
wouldn't hold up in a modern thing.
Um,
So you'd be like, guys, no more killing Christians. You're like, oh no, we all agree on that. That's a bipartisan thing. We all agree on that.
yeah, kind of just murder in general,
Yeah.
really. So we're not really into that.
Oh yeah, my dad said that. Yeah. He's number one.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Number one was like, don't believe in anyone else. Believe in me. That's first. The 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
Get that out of the way. That's the most important. Second, I don't know. Don't kill.
don't kill after that. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think, in fact, if you look at somebody like Trump, where it's more
But wait a minute. He was born in Nazareth. He couldn't run for president of the United States.
Well, Cambo, Jesus, I hate to tell you, Jesus Christ doesn't exist. So this whole thing is
But I'm saying
hypothetical.
I'm saying that's what they would get him on.
That's what Trump would say.
Yeah, they'd be like, who's this immigrant coming over here trying to run America?
And did try
he
that
wasn't born here.
Tried that
So
with
was
Obama.
Yeah.
So, you know what? You're right.
Yeah. And also, they'd be like, where's your birth certificate? And they're like, mate, it was in a manger.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, birth certificate?
And if at that point, Jesus Christ can't click his fingers and a birth certificate appear, he's definitely lost my vote.
Yeah.
I think really my determination of whether I would vote for Jesus Christ or not is how many miracles / magic tricks he could really do.
Well, the good thing is it'd be a cheap campaign to run because you obviously need to have fundraising dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're like, Jesus, you've just supplied a couple of loaves of bread and some fish. It's like, watch this.
Check this out. And
But
just this barrel of water.
There's no alcohol. You've just got water. Yeah. All right. We'll just wait.
Wouldn't you still?
I'm not paying tax on alcohol to be imported, am I? Water. Next to nothing.
That would not get you any votes. If you went to a charity dinner or whatever, and you're getting bread and fish, I feel like you'd be pretty disappointed.
Right. Yeah.
These things meant to be pretty lavish.
But would you, if you, as you entered, they're like, notice there's only 10 fish. Notice that. Okay. Sit down, have dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. There's only 10 fish. And then he came out and did the thing. Would you be like, that's pretty good.
Still no.
Do
I'm like, well,
you have chicken or beef? Or
and is the fish cooked? I've sort of always imagined that the fish wasn't cooked.
Well,
and then he just replicated a lot of them.
See.
And then people took them and had to cook them themselves. If I go to a charity dinner and I have to cook my own fish, it's not. I don't want to go there for that.
Okay.
No matter how good the miracle is.
Yeah. It's official. You're voting Trump.
I'm voting Trump.
Yeah, he gave you like a filet mignon.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
If it gave you a Trump steak.
On the meals alone, or maybe not. I don't know. I've heard those are pretty bad. Okay, but I mean, I think, I think I just want the water into wine trick.
Yeah,
really.
Honestly, I think if Jesus Christ came back today, he'd be one of those politicians that's just outraged at everything. Because in the 2,000 years, he'd be like, "What have you done? What? So many wars? What's happened to the environment? This is crazy.
Yeah,
you've ruined it.
Yeah."
I mean, it'd be one of those. Like, I think it'd be a super like.
Yeah. I think the problem is, like, again, that really hasn't worked.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He'd be like, "Well, how have you distributed wealth?" And they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
jeez." 1% does get a lot of it, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wasn't about this. Oh no.
I should have been more specific. Do you know what? I should have written the book myself. It was a problem getting other people to do it for me. It's like Chinese whispers.
He'd be seen as a real like Bernie Sanders, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I reckon for sure.
Not that we're equating Bernie Sanders to the Son of God.
He's much closer.
Yeah. In age, at least.
Yeah. I actually... How about if you were just like... If he was just like, hey, put you in heaven if you vote for me.
Oh, that's good. I would vote for him, to be fair.
You'd be like, oh, this is... it's not really a tough decision. But then again, I'm suspicious of hell being the worst place.
Oh, really?
We do know from the Bible that if you do there's lots of sins that you can commit that we probably commit every day. That really everybody probably does. You know, like a bit of greed, like indulgence, these
honest,
sort of things.
I rarely do Lent.
I rarely do Lent. I masturbate, Cambo. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not meant to be a very good thing.
Especially during Lent.
Do you want to go into a room full of guys that haven't masturbated? Just imagine the party up there.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Could you imagine, like, because let's say that your record, like, for some reason they messed it up and you get into heaven.
Yeah.
And God's like, oh, you're going to love this. You can masturbate if you want. And you'd be like, oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah. He's like,
you might have to show me how, though, because
like,
I've never done it before.
He's like, normally people are more excited about it. Nelson, you haven't masturbated before, have you?
I actually
Because there was
love
bits of your report that were missing, and we've, in good faith, we've let you.
I like the idea that God tells a guy that hasn't masturbated before that he can masturbate. He goes, oh my God, yes, thank you so much. I've wanted to do so for so long.
If you were 50, 60 odd and you died in a car crash, but you had been a good Christian boy and you had never masturbated, you would be pretty thrilled.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Is it the most blasphemous thing that, like, the image of God taking someone around the shoulder being like, you'll never guess. You can rub one out here.
Yeah. Maybe that is also another campaign of Jesus's. Is just kind of like, I'll let you do what you want when you're in heaven.
Okay.
You know, because we know heaven's shit.
They're running riot up there.
Yeah. We know it's crap right now, but if you vote for me, do whatever you want.
So you... If you're saying
I don't know if you
policy,
know, but I know the guy who runs the place.
So you're saying that his policy would be, if you vote for me, 1, you get into heaven.
You get into heaven.
And 2, do what you want.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Guys, you can finally masturbate, and everyone in the crowd's like, oh, finally. Yeah, good.
Just clapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think...
Sound of one hand clapping in the audience every time. The other one's busy, Nelson.
Oh, I see. What's it doing?
Prank.
Did you say prank?
Yeah, praying.
Oh, I'm praying. I thought you said prank.
Yeah.
Your other hands, it's prank. It's pranking. It's doing pranks on people. Anywho, here's another one.
Okay.
This is by Samick. Sonic. I can't read this from here. What is a really good poor man's meal?
Oh, I feel like you are more versed in this than me. You're more of the chef out of the two of us.
That's true.
Because I know poor man's meals, but good poor man's meals is the real key.
Yeah.
It's like noodles, poor man's meal, but that's not a good poor man's meal.
Well, I think the trick is noodles are actually a good example. If you get like those ramen noodles, which I think taste pretty delicious already.
Which, not to be a hypocrite, because we have told people not to eat them in the past.
I told Abby not to eat them. Actually, speaking of Abby, she might hate us now, by the way.
Okay.
Probably not my fault, but let me just quickly explain.
Explain to me on air why we may have lost a listener.
Well, you might remember a while ago, I encouraged people to play me in chess with friends.
Oh, yes.
And Abby and I have been playing. We played maybe 2 games, I think.
What's the username, just in case people want to join?
Nels1313. I sort of don't really play anymore. In fact, somebody started a game with me, and I think it might have been somebody that's listening, but I haven't made a move yet. Anyway, and look, what happened was I saw a very good series of moves that I could do to, put it bluntly, totally destroy Abby's hopes and dreams of ever being a chess master.
Right.
And I did them, and then she resigned. And normally in our previous game, she's like said something a little funny, something. Not this time.
Okay,
she was just done. She was done.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah,
because of your ego.
It's really, it's hard to throw. Yeah. No, I think because I played one with her, and she was like, "You're going too, hard," and I was like, "Okay." Yeah. So I eased up, made some sort of funny moves. I still won, obviously. I'm not gonna completely throw the game.
Would you lose a game to get a listener? I don't reckon you would.
It's unlikely.
So anyway, ramen.
Anyway, ramen. So it is delicious. It is terrible for you.
Yeah.
But
Abigail, if you are listening, and the chances are low, obviously don't start eating it again.
don't start based on this. No, it's super bad for your cholesterol. For those who hadn't listened to the previous episode, it is really bad. I had a friend that the doctor that he went to was like, your veins are kind of like sludge. You are very close to dying any second now. Yeah. It was mainly to do because he just ate ramen noodles all the time. But what you can do is once you put it all together, whatever, you just add like little bits of stuff, like a little bit more vegetables, a little bit more sauces or whatever. Yep. And I reckon you can make a pretty good meal out of something that's kind of simple. And only pretty cheap, like adding a few extra vegetables doesn't add too much to the cost. It's normally like meat and stuff that costs a bit more. But my, I think, go-to cheap meal or poor man's meal, also if you're lazy as well, it's good, is you just cook rice and tuna.
Yep. And
then it's up to you what else you add.
Yeah. That is a staple of yours.
Yeah. Had it today. Yeah.
This is more of a childhood thing, I think, but this is something I used to really like as a childhood. But did you ever used to make like pizza but on toast? Oh. So you get like a slice of toast, but then you put some some. It varies. Some people just put like ketchup or tomato sauce. Some people put tomato paste and a little bit of cheese, and you would grill. Yeah. It would be like a pizza equivalent but on toast.
That's a good idea.
As a kid, that was always a. I haven't had it in maybe, I don't know, how old am I? 50 years?
Yeah, you're about that. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I never thought about just doing the toast. These days I get like the pita bread.
Ugh. Didn't realize you were living in bloody.
You started me on that just by that.
Oh, pita bread.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No. I live in an ivory tower.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, just some poor man's meals.
Yeah, there you go. Rice and tuna and pizza toast.
Pizza toast. Let's get into Today I Learned. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that. Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is by Emily Likes Reddit a Lot. That's actually pretty funny.
That's very nice of her to say about this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tweet at her.
It's spelled READIT. Yeah. Today I learned that the Chinese equivalent of when pigs fly is when the sun rises in the west. Other variants include when the crayfish whistles in Russia and when the crow turns white. Tagalog. I have no idea what that is.
Wait, is that the country?
I'm assuming.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Is that a country?
I don't know.
And when the fish climbs the poplar
in
that's Turkey. They've put Turkish. It's distracting me that it's the language, not the country.
Yeah, the other one's the country, and that one's the language.
Yeah. But then maybe the language is the correct ears. Because, no, I don't think. Anyway.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And when it snows red snowflakes in Hungary or Hungarian.
See, that sounds Russian. The Russians had the other one, but that one sounds the most Russian.
I think that wouldn't be Russian because
they would love red snow.
They love red snow because the killing that they do, Cambo, in the winter.
Yeah, and the red state.
Yeah.
It never
that too.
It never went away. Like this is how we got back.
Yeah. I think when the crow turns white is possible.
Yeah.
Because isn't there just albino everything? Can't there be albino everything?
I mean, yeah, theoretically, that can be.
Surely there's been an albino crow out there.
Okay.
So if you were a Tagalogian, I actually have no idea what language that is meant to be. Emily Likes Reddit a Lot has obviously put them all languages. I have no idea what Tagalog language is.
I do find
I feel like an idiot.
I do find it fascinating that in fact this is something that Hamish and Andy used to do on their show. It's called the International Phrase Book.
Yeah.
And they would put out a phrase that is common in English, and then they would get people to call up in different languages and say what their version of it is. but the sayings they always mean the same thing, which I find really interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's always the same type of saying, like when pigs fly or when the crow turns white, which is like something that is unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that it's always like when X does X.
Right. Yeah.
Like I find that interesting that over all the languages,
Yeah.
it is the same kind of
the
saying.
phrasing is still the
Yeah.
same way. Yeah. Okay. What's
Because there was one I remember, which was I forget, maybe the thing was like fancy pants or something like that, and one of the phrases was butter boy, because I think it was either Greek or Italian, but butter was quite expensive, so they use olive oil a lot. So if someone had butter all the time, they were fancy.
oh
So for
butter
a
boy.
very long time, they were calling each other butter boy.
All right.
when
Yeah.
they did something a bit fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least that one has a story. What's the story of fancy pants? Is
I
that
don't know.
is there a story with
Maybe
that?
she's wearing fancy pair of pants.
Just fancy pair of pants? Yep.
I don't know whether that was the phrase I was
explains
translating.
itself.
All I remember from it was butter boy.
Right. Okay. Do you have, Cambo, a equivalent to this that you can make up on the spot
Oh, right.
when pigs fly?
Yep. When Reddit podcast
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one was too easy.
slow hanging fruit there.
Yeah. When Abigail beats me in chess.
You know, she probably switched back on. It's like,
I'll try them again.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, Abigail, if you're listening. Oh, man, I feel really bad. Okay.
I feel bad, let her win.
Well, not that bad. I mean, I feel moderately bad.
Yeah.
If Abigail told me that she had a really bad day one day and explained exactly why.
Yeah, you'd let her lose slower.
Yeah.
It'd be a close game.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good one. What's a poplar, Cambo?
It's a tree.
Yep.
Yep.
Just testing you.
I had to find that out for a different podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's weird. All right, let's do another tail end here. Okay, this one is by Fractal Cycle. Today I learned there is a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory called Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. I can read too, Cambo. It features space travel, Cold War politics, aliens, and Charlie's grandparents abusing drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, you clearly know something about this.
I read it.
You read it?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty weird.
yeah.
Pretty dark as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Charlie and at the end of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
They go up in the elevator,
Yeah,
at the end, and then it continues up into the orbit of space,
Yeah.
and they end up in a space hotel, which is
Oh.
under attack from space pirates.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Is this
Also,
the... No, wait. Okay. So the end of the movie, at the end of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
Yes.
he ends in the elevator.
Yeah.
But it stops there, and you're saying it immediately picks up
Yes.
in this next book. They're still in the glass elevator.
still in the glass elevator.
That is an insane world to go to, from one to the other,
Yeah.
not skipping a beat.
Nelson,
Like,
it
oh,
gets-
hey, how good's candy? Oh, now you can control it all. Oh, by the way, aliens and shit.
I mean, it gets weirder. So they end up in this space hotel.
Yeah.
Who's there? Casually, the American president is there for some reason.
Okay.
The hotel gets attacked by like space pirates because they think that they're spies. People die.
What?
But they manage to rescue the president and bring him back down to earth, and they crash into the chocolate factory.
What?
And then who shows up but bloody Charlie Bucket's family that won't get out of the beds? Remember them?
Oh, yeah.
They show up again. Willy Wonka, for no reason, is like, got a potion, make everyone young again. So he
Okay.
three of them, right? He makes
Yeah.
two of them young, like 20 or whatever, but then he gives too much to one of the grandmas. She becomes -2 and ceases to exist.
What?
So
What
then they
the-
go into like another dimension, or it's been a while since I've read it.
Oh,
and
my
then they have to
God.
try and like, get her back with the opposite drug, and then they make her like 300 years old. And,
What the...
but
Wait, what? But
yeah.
meanwhile, there's aliens attacking.
Yeah. Oh no, that bit's done. That bit's done by then.
Oh, that was just
They,
it.
they escaped the space hotel from the space pirates and they rescued the
And
president.
that's it.
And then they come back down, and then there's another bit about the
Wait,
aging
it
of the
never
Greyback.
mentions the attacking aliens again.
Look, it's been 50 years since I read it. It's been a
But
long
the
time.
thing is, Cambo, you're the only one right now that's listening that's ever read this. So I needed.
And I was like, maybe 12.
Yeah, right.
So, but there is actually, I also know this. There was meant to be a third in the series
Right.
called Charlie Visits the White House.
Oh, really?
Because at the end of Charlie in the Great Glass Elevator, they end up going to the White House, and the president's like, "Geez, thanks for." Don't tell anyone, obviously, that I was up in that space hotel. But yeah, so he wrote like a chapter of it, but never finished it.
You know what? This is the equivalent of.
What?
It's M. Night Shyamalan. He's
Oh,
created
he's
this
good for a
like
bit.
awesome
No.
movie, and then he's like, you know what I'll do? I'll turn it into this whole universe,
Yeah.
and I'll just add on this story. And that didn't go so well.
Yes, that's a reference to the movie Glass, in case people haven't seen it.
Yeah. Or all his movies connected, Cambo. We don't know. Maybe they are.
That's true. Well, in that case, they're all good because they're all connected to signs and Nelson.
Oh, that was
also,
the worst one.
Roald Dahl, cool guy. If you don't like, obviously people know that he's an author, but look into his life. In fact, there's a book called Roald Dahl and the Baker Street Irregulars. It's all about his time as a spy during the war. Really interesting. Yeah.
Wait, he was actually a spy?
Yeah. He was like he and Ian Fleming as well. Ian Fleming that wrote James Bond.
Right.
And I want to say Arthur Conan Doyle. I'm not sure if that was the one, but there's a series of they were the Baker Street Regulars. Makes sense with Arthur Conan Doyle, but they were like a series of like well-renowned authors that all became like spies during the war, and then they went back to being authors afterwards.
Oh,
Very interesting.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The chances of that seems really low.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like
that's
a spy.
Ian Fleming is pretty well known. I think if people know anything about Ian Fleming other than James Bond, they know that he was originally at least worked in the intelligence agencies and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they weren't they weren't doing huge missions, but they were all like running information across different countries and stuff during the war.
Maybe do we need to reread James and the Giant Peach and try and cipher the hidden messages? Maybe that's what it was about.
Maybe it was. Giant Peach was Germany.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, thoughts, thoughts.
This shower thought is by 86. If humans colonize the moon, it will probably attract retirement homes as the weaker gravity will allow the elderly to feel stronger.
Yeah, that's true. Though the problem would be you would need they would need properly weighted things as well, because the last thing you want is an oldie floating off.
Yeah,
just entirely. If they have too much of a spring in their step and they really take a jump, and they're like, Gladys is gone.
Oh no,
she's like her in the little dog in the spaceship just floating off ever.
Yeah,
let us know what you see.
Do you know what would be really good about the moon? It's helium balloons will last way longer.
You wouldn't even need helium.
You wouldn't even need
sales of helium would plummet.
Oh my god!
I mean, maybe helium is used in some point of the space exploration. I'm not sure. So maybe in that way, helium industry would be okay.
Apparently, we're running out of helium.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then
like the world in general.
Let's just go to the moon. Don't eat it.
Too many. Yeah, exactly. Too many people inhaling it, trying to do funny voices. And now look.
To be fair, Nelson, that is funny every time.
It is funny every single time.
And if you're at a kid's birthday party and you're thinking of doing it, do it because it's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Do it. But also, before you do it, don't think about what you're going to say. The amount of times somebody inhales.
Hello.
Yeah. And by the time they've thought about saying something, their voice is basically normal again. Every time. But also, I was thinking, Cambo, if elderly people feel stronger, then a regular guy would feel super strong.
Oh, I see. So you're saying you could be like Captain America level of strength on the moon.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, ish.
Yeah.
Probably still couldn't rip that log apart like he does in that movie. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's just force of something that's physical. But you can throw things really
I could
far.
throw the log
Oh,
up.
you know what you could do?
You
You could get a hammer, spin it like Thor, and jump off and feel a bit.
Oh,
like Thor.
you probably maybe could. No,
but
probably
again,
not. I
but
think
again-
I think we're exaggerating with the amount of gravity. on the
And
moon.
also, again, don't jump too high because then you're off.
No, then that's it. Like, oh, I forgot that I can't get back down again. Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, you would have to be the only younger person there. You'd have to sneak onto the elderly people plane.
Yep.
A rocket.
Yep.
Not a plane. Get to the moon. Because it'd be pretty boring if you looked a bit stronger, but everybody else was that way too.
Do you think old people would take full advantage of it?
I reckon it would. I
You
actually
reckon?
do think
Okay.
that it would be that significant. Because I think when you get old, like everything becomes that. Like sitting down and stuff and like getting up again rather. Sitting's probably pretty easy. You fall.
It's the getting up. I think it's a Billy Connolly thing is like the older you get, the longer the noises as you get out of your chair.
Yeah,
You get up and down, and slowly like as you're getting out. So yeah, okay. I see what you're
Same
saying.
when you're lifting an object.
Yep.
You move it around, from side to side
Yep.
of the object, sussing out how you can do it.
I think the 2019 version of this is if you've got a photo on your phone to show your parents, how long it takes them to sit down, get out their glasses, adjust themselves, pick up the phone, look at it, accidentally lock the screen.
Yeah.
The longer it takes them to view a photo on any kind of smart device
Yeah.
is now the indication of age.
That's how we know to send them to the moon.
Yeah.
If you're,
It's longer than 20 seconds.
yeah.
Pop them on the shuttle.
That's it. But I think it'd be good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Do you think there'd be any like sports that would be greater improved by less gravity?
What's the worst
Like I think
sport?
I think one that would actually make it worse is golf. I know they did do
Yeah,
golfing on the
yeah.
moon,
Maybe they're testing it.
but I
They're
think
like, nah, it's worse.
yeah. Yeah. We tried to make it better, but yeah, nobody knows this, but Buzz and
I don't think that was them. That was the Apollo.
oh, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the other guy. Okay, I forgot. Anyway,
Yeah, the ones with the buggies and the golf and stuff.
all right. Anyway, they really hated golf.
Yeah.
I think
It would
I
make
don't know.
spiking volleyball very hard.
It would.
You really need to spike that ball.
Yeah. That's true. But at the same time, you could get so much height.
It would make the slam dunk easier in basketball, though.
Oh yeah,
Because
basketball's a good one.
But then they wouldn't be special because everyone would slam dunk all the time from half court.
It would be it'd be from how far away. You can do it.
He
They-
slam dunked from outside. It's
you know-
really impressive.
Yeah, exactly. You know how like if you get a point, then the other team has the ball and they pass it in.
Yeah.
And normally they like only man up from about half court.
Yeah.
You'd have to man up like instantly because they might be able to dunk it instantly.
The good thing is, if you find the right size crater, you can just kind of adapt that into a stadium as well.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pre-built stadium seating for you.
yeah. Good thinking, Cambo. We'll save a lot of money on the stadium that we don't build.
At our moon stadium.
Here's another one. This is by Useless Spoiler. We really take for granted that both our legs grow at the same time and at the same rate.
I think I have one leg slightly longer than the other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because whenever I cuff my pants, I can never cuff them evenly and have them like. So, say for instance, as an example, let's say I'm wearing like Converse high tops, and maybe
Yep.
I'm like, I want to cuff them up to the logo.
Yeah.
The cuffing is always different, so I think my
Oh,
right
like
leg.
one leg has, but then does that make sense? Yeah, I suppose
I
that
think
makes-
it's not by much, but I think my right leg is slightly shorter than my left.
Oh, that's meant to lead
So,
to many
I
complications.
did take it for
Cambo.
granted, and it messed me about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think it's meant to be really bad for you.
I also believe I think my right foot is slightly smaller than my left foot. No, again, by like barely anything.
I'm just learning you're a massive freak.
Yeah.
Freaky freak show.
Also,
Cambo.
my third arm is shorter than my other two.
What?
Yeah.
That's real weird. Yeah, I
So
think.
not perfect, Nelson.
I think. I mean, other than you, obviously, who's got a freaky body.
Yeah, I got weird small hands.
We
as well.
definitely take for granted. I didn't look that small.
They're pretty small. Put them up against your hand. Oh, you got small hands too.
Well, thanks. I never thought about it like that before. Yeah, our family calls them the lumberjack hands. They're like a bit chubby
Yeah.
and sort of.
We've both got kind of sausage fingers, don't we?
yeah.
They're not going to be hand models anytime soon.
Yeah, that's right. But maybe with zero gravity, Cambo, they might lengthen. That's how it works, right?
Zero gravity solves all your problems.
Yeah. I want to go to the moon, is what I'm saying.
The marriage isn't working. Marriage cancer's like, zero gravity solves.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
It would probably just improve everything, right? I like name one thing it wouldn't improve. Oh, golf. We already said. Never mind. Anyway, I was going to say, I feel like we take for granted that everything grows pretty much at the same rate.
Yeah.
I think like it is amazing that the human body is kind of symmetrical in many ways, and that even small amounts of like off symmetry is really noticeable in like everyone.
Yeah. All right, I get it. I'm a freak.
Yeah. We've already been over that.
But I mean, it is amazing. But that is just to say that evolution is amazing, because that is just a product of evolution. Because there may have been further back in the genetic line people that didn't grow things in the same proportions necessarily, but they obviously didn't evolve on. Like they, the person that did, they procreated, and then there was that upshot, and then that's just how evolution works. So like whatever is alive is the best version that it can be. Even like a moth or a slug, it's the best version of a moth or a slug that there can be.
Do you know what I always think about that, right? Because we know that's how evolution works, basically. Yeah. Or a factor in it. But then that sort of means that we're not the perfect version of a human right now.
No.
We just haven't had the evolutionary...
We are, okay, to put it like this, we are the most current update of the iOS that you have on your phone. One will come along, and you'll avoid updating it for a few weeks, and then it'll just auto-do it eventually, and you're like,
But I always think, though, in these circumstances, right, like, humans just must have evolved past the point of that type of evolution. Because, let's say, for example, evolution dictates... I mean, I know the idea of, like polar bears are white because when a white polar bear came along, it could more easily get food. Yeah. And so that's why it was mated with more. Yeah. But as a human, it's like, what is the thing that we need to succeed in life, unlike any other current human being? So I think, what's the... I can't imagine the physical trait that we have, even the mental one. Yeah. Like if you think about...
It's tell you what it is. It's arms long enough to get that bit on your back you can never get when you got an itchy back.
I would mate with somebody who could do that.
Just so your kids would never know the inconvenience of just trying to get that bit on your back that you can't quite scratch.
Or licking your elbow.
Licking your elbow.
Finding the person
Sneeze
that does
and
that.
keeping your eyes open.
Oh my God. Think of the advantage. You'd never have a car accident. That one almost makes sense.
And you thought that we were perfect.
Oh my God. So many improvements could be made. Yeah. No, but I don't understand.
Everybody could do the Spock thing.
Okay. Yeah. You'd be accepted into the aliens' culture when they land here on Earth, rather than being executed.
I do find because I can do the Spock hand. Can you do the Spock hands?
Yeah.
I find it people that can't are so furious that they can't do it. And they're like squeezing their fingers together.
I feel like you can train yourself. It's just a muscle thing, right?
And some people can do it one hand and not the other as well.
Yeah, my left is worse.
Yeah, my left is also worse.
Just by the way, Cambo and I have been doing this podcast thing since Cambo mentioned it. We hope you're doing the same.
We've been looking at each other's hands as we're talking.
But yeah, so if it's nothing necessarily physical that we can evolve, because I honestly just can't think of anything that we could physically evolve that would make us more successful and therefore mate with more. But it just seems like an insane thing.
Pair of wings?
Wings. No, you've done it. Never mind. Okay, so the physical trait is wings. So then you go to mentality, and originally you think maybe intelligence.
Sure.
But
No.
there's lots of statistics to say that people with theoretically less intelligence, often poorer people, not necessarily saying that there's a correlation between the two, but they have larger families, which means that we're perhaps not evolving, like we're halting evolution because the smart people made things really easy for the dumb people, potentially.
Yeah.
And if the dumb people are then surviving longer, then we're outbreeding. We're not breeding the right type of people.
You have explained in detail the plot of the movie Idiocracy from the early 2000s.
Oh, was that about the guy who like goes forward in time? Saying
Yeah. He accidentally gets
smartest
frozen
guy.
in time, then he awakes like 100 years in the future, and he's the smartest man alive because
Yeah.
existence is bred into stupidity. Ironically, didn't get a theatrical release because they thought the general audience wouldn't get it. Because by Mike Judge, this guy that makes Silicon Valley
That's so funny.
Beavis
Was
and
that?
Butthead.
Did you see the movie?
I saw it on like DVD.
Yeah. Was it actually okay?
It's okay.
I sort of don't mind that concept. I think it is kind of a
I
funny
think the
concept.
concept is funnier than the movie itself, but there are some funny moments.
It's like the man who invented lying. I feel like the concept
Yeah.
is kind of more interesting than the
movie,
movie. Okay, let's do another one here.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I'll do one more.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay.
We
Shower
going-
thoughts went longer than I
How are
thought.
we going for that under an hour runtime?
We're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't even think about it, Cameron. Okay, let's do one more.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a stupid one.
Yep.
This is by Strange Wizard. Every time you say one, you technically counted to one.
You could,
Okay. Because you know what?
Yeah.
Technically right.
Yeah.
I love the scenario in which you'd have to use that as like information to somebody or like to prove a point to somebody. Somebody's
how
like,
would you? Like, I'm
somebody's
trying
like,
to think of a scenario.
you'll never make me count to one, and you're like, oh, well, technically you just did, idiot. That is the I don't know I don't know the conversation before that. What
what led to that exchange in words?
unless it's, hey, I can force you to count to one. That's kind of where that
I can
goes.
force you to count to one. Remember that. Do you remember it? Yes. What can I never force you to do?
Yeah.
Well, you can never force me to count to one.
Hey-oh! Gotcha.
In fact, feel free to use that as a transcript on your friends if you'd like.
Yeah, that's right.
With the caveat that when you do it, say, listen to Reddit on Reddit and then run away.
Yeah. Also, film them.
Yeah.
And you can it's kind of like a version of Punked. It's going to be a real good Reddit trend. People will be posting all these pictures of getting their friends to count to one. Anywho, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my god, I'm being podnapped!
This is podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another podcast and we do it ourselves.
Yes. And now this week is a topic of conversation, which is actually something I feel like we haven't done in a little while.
Yeah,
We're normally
yeah.
doing segments. And it's tangential, let me tell you.
Okay.
So I'm podnapping the Joe Rogan Experience.
Right, never heard of
Which,
it.
no, it's, in fact, I'll give him a big up. Check him out.
Yeah.
They're struggling.
Okay, yeah.
Was it like the number 1 or number 2 podcast in all the charts?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're welcome, Joe.
Yeah. Not even that big a fan of it, I'll be honest with you.
I've listened to like one episode.
Yeah.
I actually feel like I'd like it. I just did it. I don't know.
I duck in and out depending on who the guest is.
It's intimidating
Yeah.
because it's so big.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll be ridiculed if I don't like it.
Yeah, I duck in and out depending on who the guest is.
Yeah.
So there's 2 guests I've listened to in the past week that I want to bring up a topic of conversation. And also it relates to a video that made the rounds on Reddit and on other social medias this week as well.
Okay.
So the guests are, you'll know both of them, but you won't know one of them by name is my suspicion.
Okay.
First guest is Dan Aykroyd.
I know Dan Aykroyd.
From Ghostbusters and Blues Brothers and stuff like that.
Yes.
And the second guest
Does not
is-
look like the same person in
No.
those movies if you
No.
compare them.
or now.
Or now. Oh, yeah.
And the second guest is Tom DeLonge.
Yep.
Are you aware of him?
No.
Okay, former lead singer of Blink-182.
Radio.
Both fascinated with aliens.
Okay.
And this is the topic of conversation that I'm hoping to discover. So, I showed you a video before this started of it's called Go Fast is the name of the video.
Right.
And it was released by something called To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences.
Yeah.
Science. And it is a video of an unidentified flying object.
Yes.
And this was put onto the internet and kind of lay dormant for a while. But what is interesting about this is that this is the first video ever that the Navy or the military in general have actually come out about that video in particular and said, we don't know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
We officially confirm that we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Which has been seen as like a big win for the UFO conspiracy people.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences
Yeah.
company owned by Tom DeLonge,
All right.
former lead singer of Blink-182.
Okay. Yeah.
And he actually brings this video up on the Joe Rogan podcast, which is like heavily disputed.
Yeah.
What is your thought on this development in general?
Yeah.
Again, maybe we'll post it in the show notes. I'll send you the link so you can put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
so people
yeah.
can watch it.
Yeah.
It is essentially a dot on a radar going at quite astronomical speed, and the pilots or the ground control are like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
But if you were to read certain sections of it, this is all but now confirmed that the military have said, yeah. We won't say it outright, but we've confirmed what you think. This has been seen as a big validation to a lot of conspiracy theorists that the military are now slowly starting to link information.
Right. Yeah, because the whole thing was, right, and you might have said this because I think, as I've said before, I tune in and out to what you're saying. But this was part of like that uncovered documents from an older period of time, right? Like it's past the point of being hidden documents. Is that right? Or
I'm not sure. 'Cause you're talking about the vault.
right.
Like there was this big dump of information from the FBI, and it had things were still redacted.
Yeah.
But there were documents on like even things like the investigation into Tupac's murder and stuff was released.
Yeah.
Stuff redacted where it needed to be for personal safety and stuff. But yeah. I don't know whether this is
Wasn't part of that. Okay.
I'm not
Maybe
sure.
I just
I'm
made
not
that
sure.
up. Maybe I made that up. Anyway. Okay. My thoughts on this are, I do actually find that video pretty amazing.
Me too.
As somebody who doesn't believe that we've seen alien life or anything like that, I don't I want to not believe it. And I'm trying to sort of justify and think about what could that actually possibly be?
Yeah.
Because you can tell it's moving way faster than anything anything that I could even think of.
Yeah. Like people would be like, "Oh, it's a bird," but it's moving way too
It's
fast.
moving way faster than a bird I've ever seen a bird move, faster than any jet or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
It looks like it seems to me it's amazing they could even lock on, because they lock onto it, and it just seems to fly.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the speed equivalent kind of seems like, and now I'm thinking maybe this is exactly it.
Okay,
Cambo.
go on.
It's like if you were pointing a laser at your roof,
Yep.
and you just kind of flicked it across the roof to the other side.
Right. So you think maybe one of the pilots has a little laser?
It's just a
pen?
little laser this whole time. No, but even that doesn't make that.
Yeah.
That was more just to give you the significance of how fast it was, right?
Yeah.
It was just so fast that you couldn't possibly replicate that speed. It seemed like.
Yeah.
And so that's where my brain really hits a wall.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, Nelson, you can't explain. You've never seen anything that's that fast before.
And the military officially have said,
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
written down PFFFT. Don't know.
Then in brackets, shrug.
Yeah.
So, and this is,
Yeah.
I find this fascinating because if you're a kid of the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
I would say look at Dan Aykroyd. If you're a kid of the 90s, maybe look at Tom DeLonge.
Mm-hmm.
But these idols that have become engrossed in this kind of weird... It's like Tom DeLonge left Blink-182 to start this business and investigate aliens and UFOs.
Wow.
That is what he does. And he started this whole company, To the Stars and stuff like that. And that is what they do. And Dan Aykroyd similarly he hosts conventions for people that think they've been abducted. Or Dan Aykroyd, level of craziness. Dan Aykroyd is crazy.
Yeah, I think I've heard this.
He's great. He loves his Crystal Head vodka, which is based off the crystal skulls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. And he believes anything, like anything. He believes Bigfoot.
Yeah.
He believes even on the episode, the Joe Rogan episode. He what I find interesting is he rationalizes everything so easily without any question.
Yeah.
And even at one point he brings up John Edwards. He's like, and then obviously John Edwards, and Joe Rogan says to him, he's like, well, wasn't he found out to be full of shit? Like they found he had a listening device and stuff. And he, without even hesitating, goes, well, sometimes people just lose their powers. Like
what?
That easily just rationalizes it to himself. A tier above him in craziness is Tom DeLonge, who, if you were to listen to him, is meeting with government officials in the Pentagon. He can't tell you what he's meeting about, but he's having all these big meetings.
What?
Because get the guy that wrote All the Small Things, get him in here.
Imagine
and
what
his whole thing is they use him for his outreach to the youth. That's why they're
to the youth.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, well, we need to communicate this alien message.
Right.
Yeah, get me the guy that wrote Damn It.
That is so fascinating.
Yeah.
That these people are so engrossed and stuff like that. I mean, it comes back to, just sort of, conspiracy theories in general. I mean, I actually said to you, I was blown away the other day because somebody at my work said that she thought that the moon landing was fake.
Yes.
And I just couldn't believe it because I kind of thought that these people that believe in these sort of conspiracies are kind of almost conspiracies in themselves, like they don't really exist. You hear about them, but you never see these people in real life.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I was like, oh my God, and I said, so I've got a pretty new job, and I've been trying to keep my head down, don't want to stir any ruffle any feathers sort of thing.
Say anything crazy like we did land on the moon.
Yeah, say something stupid like that. And so but in this instance when she said that, I said, really? And she goes, yeah, and then she said, if they did land on the moon, why didn't they go back?
They did.
I was so dumbfounded, I didn't know how to answer.
Well, the thing is, they did go back. They went back a few times.
But I think she means shortly after.
They did. They went back several times. And this is the sad fact about the moon, is that they would have kept going back had the public kept their interest.
Yeah.
But the public at large was like, cool, well, we did it. There's no point. And that's why NASA isn't the powerhouse it used to be.
Yeah.
Because in the 60s, everyone was really interested
Yeah.
in moon exploration. And then they all got over it.
Yeah.
So then there's no public interest. So then there's no public funding.
Yeah.
So then they had to stop going to the moon.
I think that's the thing, right? Which was I really wanted to. I thought about that night many a times of all the things I could have said.
Yeah.
But just the idea that it's really expensive to go. It's not like you can just get up and leave one day. So when she's like, oh, why didn't they go back? And then she also, and so, I think she was implying like in a shortish period of I don't know, the next day or something. I don't really know in her head what the timeline could have been, because she went on a little bit, her reasoning more behind that was like, do you think they really had the technology in the 60s to go to the moon?
Yeah.
I thought, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question?
Yeah.
You're like, yes, literally they did. That is what, I cannot say anything else other than yes, they did.
They didn't, and then they made it.
And then they did.
And then they did.
They worked
And then,
really hard for a
Here's the
long
thing.
time.
You can go and look at it.
Yeah.
They still have it. You can go and look at it.
I think that's an interesting concept in itself, right? Is like what people or someone like her thinks when they mean, oh, they didn't have the technology. What is like technology really when you boil it down?
Yeah.
And I think like in this case, maybe more specifically, I don't think there was anything in the 60s, you know, that, or from the 60s till now, that got invented specifically that we use today that has like sort of changed the way that we get to the moon. I mean, aside from convenience, right?
Yeah.
So there's not something that we did. The thing that they did when they were going to moon, what they actually did was maths.
Yeah.
All they did was just a bunch of maths.
Yeah.
And they worked out how, robust some parts of the ship needed to be.
Yeah.
And again, it's just more maths. And they created, different sort of metals or combining metals so that it could hold its own when it's up there. And again, it just all comes down to math. So I think when she was like, oh, what did they have? The technology there. It's kind of like, well, that's like saying they didn't have the maths then.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
And the computers that they had, the IBM computers, just did maths.
They technically had the maths when Socrates was around.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They've had the technology forever.
The math has always existed. We just worked it out. Like there was no technology sort of thing.
And
I just find that really an interesting concept.
Some people are under the assumption that they went straight up to the moon and then straight back down to Earth.
Yeah.
Instead of going up, getting caught in orbit, doing a loop around the thing, going, and then
Yeah.
it's complicated maths to get you there using physics, using like aerodynamics, it's not just shoot up, shoot back down.
Yeah. You could probably do it that way and it'd be way more expensive
Yeah.
with the fuel and whatnot and how you'd have to arrange this.
Because, I mean, technically what they did is strap 3 people into a tin can and blow them into the atmosphere with a huge explosion.
Exactly.
And you could do that straight up, but that explosion would need to be huge.
Yeah. And I think maybe we should get that alien tech again. They seem to go real fast.
Yeah. By the way, Tom DeLonge is designing a spaceship that can go through space-time.
Oh, cool. That's good.
That's not a joke.
See,
it is something he's claimed to be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a joke, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean. I was just going to mention, actually, I saw, and I really encourage all listeners to watch. I saw a movie a little while ago. It's called Apollo 11. Is that the one that went to the moon?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I forget the number.
The famous one. That
I did see the. Yeah, but I always what did Apollo 13 do? Because that one comes up all the time.
I mean, it went wrong, famously.
Yeah. See,
wrong.
I get those confused.
Yeah.
One of them went wrong. Do you know which one?
Apollo 13 were the one that had a
But
problem.
you don't know what happened to Apollo 12, did you?
Went to the moon?
Probably, I don't know. My point is nobody knows. It's all either Apollo 11 or 13. Anyway, so it was just called that, and it's a documentary, but it uses real footage of the time. It doesn't use anything else. Mm-hmm. It's got the only modern thing it has is a musical score, basically behind it.
But what they have done is they've significantly improved all the old footage.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They've taken
colorized all of it and stuff.
It looks new.
Yeah.
So when I was at a screening of this, I was watching it with a friend of mine, and she'd actually said, like, oh, how have they recreated this?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. That's real footage.
It
just looks so good.
Yeah.
But another interesting thing that they do in this documentary is there's no interviews. There's none of the things that you would normally find for a documentary. It is documentary in the purest form, where it is just old footage.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating.
I went with a friend, and just before the movie starts, he's like, oh, by the way, this is all real footage and they don't actually do anything else. I was like, oh my God, this can be such a boring film. I was really getting prepared for that. And honestly, it was probably one of the most amazing films I've seen this year.
I've watched a few documentaries this year. By far the best documentary I've seen all year.
Super amazing. Really encourage anybody to go out there and see it.
It's still playing at IMAX.
That's where I saw it
for Melbourne people specifically, I suppose. But yeah, it is amazing, and there's a lot of footage in there that. Here's one thing I didn't consider is all the astronauts had to film themselves.
Yeah.
And I guess I'd never considered that.
Right,
There's footage of them on the moon, like moving a tripod with a camera along. And I'm like, I guess they were having to set up all the cameras themselves because there wasn't a camera guy there.
That's right.
Just little things like that. They're really interesting.
They were the first ones to do a selfie, Cambo. Factually, that's true.
It's like the first YouTube vlog, isn't
it?
Yeah,
that's
Hey
right.
guys, just here in the shuttle.
Yeah. It's cool. Anyway,
That was
that's good.
podnapping.
That's
That was
podnapping.
the Joe Rogan experience.
Joe Rogan, we sort of talked about what went on there. But let's get in now to the AMA, the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener,
Yes.
can ask us anything you want. I'm saying it like that because I feel like every now and again you need to remind the listener. You know, sometimes you just breeze over what I say every time. I want them to know that it can be them.
Sometimes we used to just say a name. So you know what? Lisa, right in.
Right in.
Yep.
Now, my ex is called Lisa. Let's not do that.
No, right in. Tell us why you broke up with Elsa.
By the way, I was meant to tell you this before the podcast. So let's do it now. I thought we should swap roles because you can read one of Hazim's one. But
Okay,
I always think
sure.
we should do that one second.
Okay.
So I'll just read Rowan's one now. Okay, so that's by Rowan. He says, "Gentlemen, assuming you read this the week I send it, I will have listened to this episode and the week prior on my commute to Melbourne.
Look out! Sorry.
Oh,
I thought there was a truck coming. Sorry. All right.
If you kill my cousin..." Probably get more listeners though, wouldn't we? Like, he ran off the road.
Yeah.
I was probably from that podcast we did. Everybody's his funeral will be like, well, which bit?
And there's no timestamps.
They have to listen to it. Oh boy, this is pretty morbid. Sorry, Rowan. Hope you're okay.
Presumably listening with these kids in the car.
Oh
dear.
boy. Okay. AMA 95.0. You are stranded on a tropical island. What one breed of animal, 2 types of food-bearing tree, and one of your listeners for company do you choose to have there?
Lisa.
Oh God!
Just to rub
Not
it,
my ex.
rub it in your face. Nelson.
You didn't even choose your girlfriend. She listens.
Nelson, she's telling me all kinds of secrets about you.
Yeah. That. Okay.
Okay, stranded on a tropical island.
One breed of animal.
One breed of
Oh,
animal.
you're choosing dog. Whatever.
Well, no, but here's the thing. Do I want an animal I can eat? I'd feel bad about eating a dog if I took a really big pig.
Yes.
Because
Now what I'm thinking is
I'm thinking maybe I'll get rescued, so that pig will just get me through the period of time.
okay.
Because depending on who I take as a listener, maybe that will help me get rescued. You see what I'm saying? 'Cause I think the things you're taking, you can look at it 2 ways. You can look at it as things to help you survive on the island for the long haul, or things to help you get off that island and back into civilization.
Yeah. So dolphin could be that.
That's
Maybe we'll
good.
get him to. Yeah, fly around. Okay.
Yeah, but like one of those research dolphins has a tracker. So
That
then when
one
they come for the
specifically.
dolphin, you're
Yeah.
like, I'm here too.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They sometimes they track sharks and
Yeah.
stuff.
I want one of them. That's my animal.
Yeah,
I've changed my mind.
Okay.
I want some kind of scientifically tracked animal.
I mean, they might just be like, "Oh, it died and washed up on that island." I guess.
But I still think my chances are higher.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. What if you got the animal?
Yep.
Dolphin. Let's make it dolphin that's tracked, and you train it to do a certain track in the ocean over like a few kilometers. That's like, help me, and then an arrow to the island. I think.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah. I mean, then the rest is irrelevant, isn't it?
Or if we could, okay, I'm going to use whatever my the tree that something that I can turn into a paste to write a sign,
Yeah.
and I would attach the sign to the dolphin as well, just in case he goes out far enough and there is some kind of vessel. He also has a sign attached to him
Yeah.
that says, "Man stranded on an island this way." Brackets also Lisa.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just doubling my chances.
Yeah,
So
okay.
if he's out there writing the help message, but he also happens upon, because people on cruises, they love to see a dolphin, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they'll be on overboard, like they'll be looking overboard, and he can start signaling to them with his sign.
Yeah.
There's a guy over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Well, wait, he can't really. I feel like it's the scientists or whatever that are looking up the.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm just trying to widen the net. If
Okay.
you'll accept my fishing metaphor here.
That's
Seems apt.
that's fair. Oh, that's good.
So
way.
yeah, I want the scientists to track him, but also if I can also, because maybe the scientists will get there, but I'll already be rescued from the cruise ship.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's true. I didn't think about passing cruise ships, which are very. Do you know what? then
Depends where the island is, I guess.
Maybe.
If it's off the Gulf of Mexico or something, there's a higher chance that there'll be some kind of cruise ship than if it's, in the middle of, in the Bermuda Triangle.
yeah. Otherwise,
Yep.
survival wise,
Mhm.
I think chicken.
Okay.
Get the eggs.
Yeah,
All
that's
the
good.
time.
That's
Mhm.
good.
Or, yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yep. Yeah, chicken's not bad. Okay,
Mhm.
well, what trees would you have?
2 types of food bearing tree.
Mhm.
I think. Oh God,
I think the
know.
banana has better nutritional value.
Well, do you know what? Crazy enough, I was going to say avocado.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Because
yeah.
I
healthy
think
fats, omega-3s.
It has fats and stuff that are
Yeah.
meant to be good for you, and then maybe an apple.
Also,
Keeps doctor away.
Also, got a chicken, got eggs, got avocado. You can have a pretty fancy breakfast. You have a smashed avocado.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even trapped on an island.
That's just a fancy Melbourne
Yeah.
cafe where you have
You're
your
not
own
paying
chicken.
$24 to $25 for that.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, that sounds so much worse. For those that don't know, in Australia, it's a big Melbourne in particular. There's this big sort of joke about millennials eating avocados and being too sort of swanky and that's why they can't afford housing.
Yeah.
It's because they're eating too many avocados.
There was a guy called Joe Hockey who was the guy in charge of budgets. By the way, who had 2 bits of really good advice. One was, well, if young people want to buy a house, there's nothing wrong with the wage gap or the housing market or anything like that. They eat too much avocado on toast. And if they didn't do that, then they'd be able to afford a house.
Yeah.
The other thing was, if you're also struggling to afford a house or affording living, his advice was get a better job.
Yeah.
Just get a better job that pays more. That was his advice. Anyway, he doesn't do that job anymore.
To be fair, I spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on avocado, and I don't even try to get a good job. So
You're Joe Hockey's worse than I am.
I should be taking his advice.
What about the listener? Who would you choose?
Okay, and the listener. Wait, what trees we got? Avocado, and we're going to say banana.
Yep.
I think apple.
Okay, well, that's fine. To each their own.
I feel like it's got more vitamins and stuff.
I was thinking of like the potassium from the, but maybe you're getting that in the avocado.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And one listener.
Well, look, I'll say this, and no offense to him, we're about to read the email. Don't take his in because all he knows is New York.
He only knows New York.
Because as we've stated,
No survival skills in New York.
despite where he lives, he is our New York correspondent. But he's going to be no good on an island, is he?
Maybe if I was in a concrete jungle, Cambo, then I would take Hazim along. Okay. Oh, that's good. Let's just knock some people out.
You couldn't have a good stimulating game of chess if you took avocado.
Let's pass the time, Jess. Oh, no. Oh, boy. I feel so bad. Okay. Who else got? Amanda?
Yep. She
I sort of feel like
me
Amanda is a
too.
good
I-
one to
yeah.
have. I feel like she's pretty handy with stuff. She's actually got chickens, I know.
Ooh.
So she could kind of look after the chicken. Maybe do a
I
bit
feel
of...
like Amanda is the kind of gal that would just know stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I reckon that might be... I think that's the best one.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Rowan was involved in that terrible car accident, so I can't take it.
You can't walk anymore.
Yeah, okay. Good.
Okay. So I have an email here from Hazim. Now, new listeners, maybe this is your first episode. I apologize because we're about to get into quite the web here.
Yep.
There's been an ongoing game that has been set up by the listener of the show, spearheaded by Hazim, our New York correspondent,
Yep.
who still lives in New York.
Definitely.
In our minds.
Yeah.
And
I actually had somebody who wanted to be the Midwest correspondent.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
So,
great. Just as
I
long as they
think-
know that they're stuck with that forever, no matter where they move.
Yeah, that's. In fact, I'd prefer if he wasn't in the Midwest.
But it's got a good vibe of what's going on there.
MD. I don't know how to say his name. MDAWGT. on Reddit. He
Yep.
said he wants to be the Midwest U.S. correspondent.
You've got it.
You've got it.
You've got
That's how easy it is.
Yeah. So we theorized that there would be a great game show where the guests didn't know the rules.
Yep.
They had to answer a series of questions and get points or get deducted points and slowly had to work out the rules.
Yep.
In a cruel twist of fate, the listeners have now invented this game.
Yeah.
And we don't know the rules and they're asking us questions.
Yeah.
So that context is required. Sending this a little early, Hazim says. If you care to prepare at all and re-listen to last week's episode, you can. Did you listen?
I always listen to the episode, but not since reading this email. In fact, I got put off because last week I read the email and I felt like I cheated a little bit because I was semi-prepared for one of the answers.
Okay.
Which we'll get into back.
Well, but I think that's just good playing.
Yeah. I think we need to now. I think that's it.
Yeah.
We need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I expect this to happen just as much as I expect editing to occur, which is not at all.
Yeah.
I don't know as well.
Yeah.
FYI, from last week, B-Town 1349 is Ryden. Was it Ryden? How did we...
Ryden, yeah, it was Ryden.
Wasn't sure if he wanted to give his name, but he gave me the thumbs up. Okay. Didn't think this through. Listening to the episode is becoming far more intense as I track who says certain things to trigger gained or lost points, but your confusion is absolutely worth the effort.
Oh, God.
Hints.
Yeah.
Because I'm a generous soul, there's a total of 8 rules.
Okay.
2 are individual rules, i.e. 1 for Cambo, 1 for Nelson.
We knew that.
4 are toss-up points related to things you say or discuss in the episode. 2 apply to the questions.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm too sick for this to get to sink in.
Cambo, I want to let you know.
Yeah.
I'm starting to play serious now.
Okay.
Okay. I've got strategies now.
Yeah.
So
By the way,
buckle up.
the other day I was explaining this because I do read these emails early.
Yeah.
I was explaining this to Stacey. Said, well, we've each got a rule. Nelson's got a rule and I've got a rule. And she goes, oh my God, I think I know what your rule is. But she won't tell me what she thinks it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Because she said, I don't want to compromise the game.
Okay.
Reminder of last week's questions. Question 1, what is the sexiest / most seductive number from 1 to 100? Credit to B-Town 1349.
Okay.
2, if sharing a place, would you rather have a communal bathroom but your own bedroom or a communal bedroom but your own bathroom? And does Mazda Miata break the... I always struggle with this word.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
I want you to give it a go, Cambo.
It's the second word I can always get. Reduplication is fine.
Yeah.
A blout? No.
Yeah, that's what I
Is it?
said.
Okay,
A blout.
yeah.
I don't even know if it's right.
It
It was just funny to see you struggle there.
Miata break the blout reduplication rule.
Yeah, well done.
So, the scores, Nelson. For question 1 was the sexiest number. You got -9.
Negative 9
So
points.
I told you, you went for the
Seem
2 easy ones.
insanely high.
For question 2, sharing a place, would you rather have a communal bathroom, communal bedroom? We both said bathroom. Plus, do we both say bathroom? Yeah.
We both.
+5.
I got +5.
Yeah. And question 3, does it break the does it break
I'm sorry.
I just had a slight breakdown. Does it break the rule? You got a +5 because your
got
answer
+5.
was yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Other point, 0. You again missed out on a possible point for the Nelson specific rule. So Nelson's total this week is +1. So you
Yeah.
got 1 point last week.
Okay.
Cambo.
Because I got the -9. I think I've actually had way more positive points
you
than
have.
you have, but I've got way more
The
negative.
problem is because you're like a baseball player that swings hard every time, and occasionally you get a home run, but then your strikeout score.
Yeah, sometimes I lose the bat.
Yeah. So, question 1 for me was sexiest number. I said 11. I get a +1. Question 2 and 3, I got 0 for both of them.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we answered the same
We
thing for
had
question
the same
2.
thing in question 2.
Interesting.
Oh, boy.
Now that makes you think that maybe if one of us just agrees with the other, we win or lose points. That's my theory going to the Nelson.
No, but we sort of... I mean, we've been writing them down separately and then answering them.
Oh, I forgot about that element. Yeah.
And so... oh, God.
Okay. Other points. Apologies,
By the way, I'm really actually genuinely enjoying this game because I think that I am slowly trying to
Yeah.
work out, okay, this is what happened. This said this. So what's the chances that it's this? I'm finding this game actually interesting. Very
I'm
good.
also because we do get a lot of listeners asking for the rules, and by the
We've
way,
had a lot. People are genuinely interested in this.
feel free to email us. We'll put you in touch with Hazim to get the rules.
Yeah.
But I want to know if there are listeners out there that are playing along with us and also trying to work out
Yeah,
the rules
I hope
themselves
so.
as well. So for myself, other
yeah.
points -5, and then for the Cambo specific rule, you get -5 for breaking the rules, and then +4 for following the rules, for a total of -6. For listeners who know the rules, see what he did during the Podnap segment for the minus points. So my total this week was a -5.
You got minus points.
Yes.
During the podnapping segment.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I know.
Okay.
Now, I was going to re-listen to it, Nelson, but I'm a busy guy. Didn't have time.
Okay.
So, Nelson had 0 points last week and then got 1 point this week for a total of 1. That is your running total.
I'm on 1.
Last week, had a bumper week with 5 points. This week, I lost 5
You
points.
lost 5.
I'm on 0.
Oh god.
However, it brings us to the new questions.
Okay,
This
new
is where we
questions.
were going.
Here we go.
I forgot that we had to write them down separately. So give me a moment while I set that up.
Oh,
Question
right.
1.
Right, yeah.
100 bloodthirsty 6-year-olds come at you simultaneously with murder on their minds. How many can you take out before you're overwhelmed with only your hands and whatever you have on your person right now? Do we want to do them one at a time, or do you want me to read them all first?
We could do them one at a time, I guess.
Okay. So 100 bloodthirsty 6-year-olds, how many could you take out before they overwhelm you?
Okay.
Okay, we are just writing separate answers.
Yep.
Okay. I think I have mine.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Take it down. Take it down.
Phone's not working. I actually had this answer well before you read it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Want me to go?
Yep, you go.
92.
Oh, okay. You've fancied yourself far above me. I said 21.
Okay. Okay.
21. Okay. Because I think here's the problem. I think that my conscience would get in the way eventually. Now, well, I think it would start in the way, and then eventually through like the 19th or 20th kid, the conscience would be fading away. But then by then the damage is done, isn't it?
I mean, we're playing different games here, Cambo.
Yeah, you tend to go to the extreme. Okay. 2. They say you can't compare apples to oranges, but I'm going to make you. How many apples to an orange? You got your answer?
Yep.
You're really thinking about this.
Yep.
See, I've been trying to be honest and logical, hoping that comes through, but I don't know. All right.
Okay.
What's yours? How many apples to an orange?
22.
I put -1. I like an orange more, so
Okay.
2 apples will get me an orange. in
Oh,
my
I
mind.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like a citrusy fruit.
I didn't think about that.
Yep. 3. Does your communal bathroom/bedroom answer change if you apply the diarrhea/money-making scheme to it? So obviously a money-making scheme was that we would blackmail people into having diarrhea unless they paid us money. Here's the question, because I feel like we don't have enough information for this question.
Yep.
Are we being blackmailed, or are we blackmailing people?
Here's the thing, Cambo.
Because,
I think we do have enough information for this
What?
question.
well, yeah.
And honestly, that's scary.
But because I imagine, this is what I'm imagining, is it would be harder for me to blackmail you because then you would be using my bathroom as well. I think that's the angle that they're attacking it from.
Yeah.
So does that rule apply? Okay. Do you have your answer?
Write it down.
So I'm gonna have to explain my answer, I think. Does it change you wanting to have a communal bathroom if you're going to be exploiting people for diarrhea that, let's say, theoretically is sharing your house? I think that's how we need to read it. I may have lost points for just assuming.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, you go.
My answer is just yes.
Mine's a no. Okay, interesting. Because here's the
Oh,
thing. If I'm making money, I'll just use a different bathroom.
yes. I get.
There are other bathrooms about. It's more inconvenient, yes, but I know that I've just blackmailed someone and I'm making some money. That's all right.
But Kevin, you're still playing these questions.
I know. This is
logically.
my strategy, Nelson. I can just be me the most earnest way I know how.
But you, at some point, you have to stop doing that.
No.
Because that's literally not the idea of the game.
No, but until I start working it out.
Yeah. But then don't you want to test certain areas? See, this is the difference between you and I.
Yeah.
I'm the gamer,
Yeah.
and you're not quite as gamey as me.
And
I think
you've got the legs that are the same length.
And that I mean, I wasn't going to mention that for your sake. That is my leg up, so to speak.
Yeah.
But like, I think that I'm conditioned to do things. This is exactly what it reminds me of, actually. We played Cluedo once and played with a few friends.
Yep.
And in Cluedo, what you're meant to do is you obviously get the information on weapon, room, and person who you think is done the murder. And then you mark off on your sheet. When somebody else shows you a card, you mark that off.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were playing, at least the first time, I was the only one that was starting to mark things off when other people were showing other people their cards.
Yeah.
And I think that it's kind of this same logic where it's like, you're like, I'm just going to work this out based on 100% of the information I know. And I'm kind of like, I'm going to just keep poking and prodding things and work it out that way.
I would say the other advantage you have is you're also quite a puzzle guy. I think your mind works better with puzzles.
Yeah.
And my mind runs away.
Yeah.
So I think, what you're doing actually does make logical sense, but I just have emotional reactions every time.
If you want to know how sort of...
But obviously points for honesty for me just then.
Yeah, points for honesty. If you want to know how good I am at puzzles, just ask Abigail. She knows.
Yeah. Imagine if we lose points for insulting a listener.
Oh no. Abigail, I'm sorry. I actually really love you as a listener.
Yeah.
All right.
So there are 3 questions. He ends with,
it?
may the odds be ever on your fortune, Hazim.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Was that a clue? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's just to get around copyright for may the odds ever be in your favor from the Hunger Games. Suzanne Collins has those copyright emails ready to send.
That's true. All right. Well, thank you, Hazim.
All the way from the mean streets of New York
From
City.
New York. And thank you for speaking with, coordinating with all the other listeners who wanted to get involved.
Yes. If you do want the rules, let us know. We can put you in touch with Hazim.
I actually, every time I send a new one to Hazim, I say, but honestly, if it gets annoying to coordinate too many people, just let me know and I'll stop.
But every
I'll stop
time,
giving them to.
So far, every time he's been like, no, this is good.
Yeah. No, he's credit to Hazim. It's really awesome that he's just very welcoming of all the other listeners.
Yes.
So,
And
thanks
obviously,
very much.
Beatsound, who wrote in the question last week.
Yep. Yes. Thank you. And what else we got?
That's our show, Nelson.
Oh, is
We're
it?
done. We're under an hour.
Aren't we? Don't we do another segment?
No, we do the segment where you tell people if they wanted to write in where they would write into.
I thought we did another segment where we take off our clothes.
I mean, I don't know what you're.
Have we not been recording that?
No. I mean,
Oh.
I've been recording it in a video log.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was just part of the podcast.
No.
If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast
No,
at
so you wanted this
gmail.com.
to be a short episode. Why would you drag that out just then?
I don't know. It's actually quite a long one.
Yeah, of
It's
course it is.
totally-
Every time we say it's going to be short, it's longer.
The Joe Rogan thing went way longer than I thought it would. Or you thought it would.
I thought you were just going to kind of shrug and be like, yeah, it's weird.
Aliens, am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can reach us at Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, and our subreddit. They're all READIT podcast.
Yes.
We'd also super love it if you could rate us on whatever podcasting app you're listening to and subscribe.
Yep.
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Now, we've mentioned this before, but Cambo, I had a practical approach to telling a friend.
Great.
Because, we like to say that if we're encouraging you to do it, then the onus is just on us to do the same.
Yep.
But sometimes you need to get creative. So this week, I was at a party and a girl handed me her phone and she said, "It's your turn to add some songs to the Spotify playlist."
Yeah, good.
So I quickly got out of the playlist.
Yeah.
Searched Reddit on Reddit podcast, subscribed to us.
You didn't add an episode to the playlist?
Then went back to the playlist. No, I feel like then the jig is up.
Because can you imagine like one track ends and then suddenly...
Yeah, because people are like, what's this? I haven't heard of this before. And then I'm like, hello. No, I'm hoping that when we release this episode now, she gets a notification. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, that's good.
Why
That's
am I
good
getting
stuff.
this?
That's good from you.
Yeah. So feel free to do that. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guerrilla tactic.
Yeah, take someone's phone, subscribe.
Yeah, that's right. So thanks for listening, and we will read you later.